how to become an elk killer, not just a hunter. Most elk hunters fail because they don't prepare. If you're tired of saying, maybe next year, burn gas and spend precious vacation days only to hear silence in the mountains. This is not a video game. This is a war. Because success is not an accident. If you want to be in the top 5% of elk hunters who kill bulls consistently every single season, it starts now. Most elk hunters fail because they don't prepare. They rely on luck instead of doing what the most successful hunters do. This video will flip your mindset and show you how to become an elk killer, not just a hunter. If you commit 100%, I promise you, your success is only a few canyons away. With a motivational tone, I will deliver elk hunting advice to help you stay inspired and make the extra push with your mind, your legs, and your skills to be very successful this season. Your elk hunting season does not start in September. It starts now because success is not an accident. If you want that monster bull, the herd king, you need to commit 100%. Decide right now to give it everything. If you want to be in the top 5% of elk hunters who kill bulls consistently every single season, you will have to do what the other 95% are not willing to do. Because success always starts in your mind. It is the way you think. So stop hoping for luck and don't wait for a bull to jump into your truck. Preparation and planning for a successful elk hunt starts with the way you scout, the hours and days you invest before the season even opens. Research that unit for prime elk terrain. Gather intel, take your maps, and plan your routes. The killers, the ones who tag bulls every single year, they don't hope for an elk to randomly stick its head out of the bushes and wait till you put an arrow through it. The elk killers, they hunt with purpose and passion. They will tell you the truth. You create your own luck. The harder you work, the more time you invest in learning the areas and elk psychology, the luckier you will get. Every day you spend scouting before the season is a day you get to hunt during the season. Look, if you spend 1 week in the summer scouting, that will be 7 extra days of knowledge, information, and intel that you acquire ahead of other hunters. You will know the area better and you will navigate faster. You won't waste time hiking through burned out spots or getting stuck in thickest canyons like other hunters do. Imagine if you take 3 scouting trips, 4 to 5 days each, you will be 15 days ahead of other hunters. This is like extending your season by extra 2 weeks. Most guys don't scout at all before the season, and they spend their precious hunting days driving around trying to find a promising spot, hiking only to find closed gates, other people's elk camps, and dozens of trucks parked everywhere with city boys running around like it's a protest in downtown Portland. Don't be like them. The more you scout, the more you learn. You gotta be out there on the battlefield. Load your brain with information about the unit by e-scouting with Onyx, boots on the ground scouting, and finding elk sign. If you train your body for physical endurance, you will be able to go farther and go longer. Anticipate success if you are prepared. If you have done your work, scouting the terrain, mapping the trails, and planning the routes to understand the animal movement. This season, you either repeat the mistakes you made last year, or you level up your game and square up with the bulls in the wilderness to outsmart them. It's your choice to commit for a new game if you want the results that are better than average. This zone is not for the weak. No one can help you if you don't help yourself. Serious results come to those who commit 100%. So stop hoping for luck and start creating your own success pattern. Your wall of trophies with crazy stories will inspire your children and friends and show them how determined you were and the commitment it took. Welcome to the life of an elk killer. You are the elk spy, calculated, committed, and locked in. Every step you take brings you closer or farther from a bull on the ground. This video isn't for every elk hunter. It's not for the excuse makers that are still sitting at camp hoping to get lucky. Don't watch this if you will blame the moon phase or weather or other hunters. This is for the hunter who has done everything. You bought the weapon, the gear, and put in many miles, burned gas and spent precious vacation days only to hear silence in the mountains. If you hunted for 3, 5, maybe even 10 years, if you listened to every podcast and tried every YouTube tip, if you're tired of saying maybe next year, if you're ready to finally kill elk, this video will change your season and hopefully your life. There's only 2 ways. You commit or you quit. You're out of the game. Either you're going to give this season everything you've got or don't bother. You'll just burn another tag and waste more gas and go home with your fantasies instead of meat. This is not a video game. This is a war between you and the most alert, elusive animal in the Wild West. Elk are in survival mode 24/7. You gotta pick up your game. They are like lifted forerunners modded with off-road tires, 4 legs of pure muscle and independent suspension with locked diffs. No physical weakness. The bull can climb a steep ridge then drop down into the canyon even before you will have time to fart. There's one thing that separates a hunter from a killer: decision. The killer already decided he's going to win. The killer is determined to be successful and his actions prove his intent. This season, you need to decide. No more excuses. No more hoping for luck. You will create your own success, but it won't be easy. It will take patience, planning, and calculated actions. Tell everyone you'll get it done this year, no matter what. Prove to yourself what you're capable of. Don't let this dream be a fantasy. Do you want results? Do you want that trophy bull? I'm ready to share tactics and strategies that I have learned from 15 years of elk hunting and hundreds of miles scouting on foot through Pacific rainforests and high elevation wilderness. This channel is for serious hunters only, the ones who want to stay motivated, who want to keep learning and never stop improving. We drop the truth, advice, and fire to keep you sharp every single week. Subscribe now and prove to yourself you're serious. This is where the killers are made. You don't find elk during the season. You find them before because you scouted and found the hot zone, the rutting areas. Scouting makes the difference. You find the evidence of elk before you find the elk. If you try to hunt the whole unit, you will end up driving around for hours and hours, wasting your days. You gotta pick a smaller zone. Focus, break it down, hike through every canyon, glass every ridge, check out every hole, patch of timber, and every bench that might hold the bulls. Study the terrain, find food, bedding areas, escape trails that drop down into the steep. You gotta be brave enough to go down into the deepest hole. This is where you commit. You will descend into that canyon, but there's no guarantee that the elk are there. But those who never go never find out. This is the foundation of success. Those who fail to plan are already planning to fail. You are either preparing to succeed or preparing to fail. There is no in between. If you're not putting in the hours with maps, trail cameras, boots on the ground, logging every elk sign you find, don't be surprised when you see nothing. You skip the most important part already. I remember one summer I hiked over 200 miles just scouting. I was not carrying a weapon, I wasn't chasing bugles, the elk were not there, but I was studying, logging sign, marking every trail, and looking for wallows and rubs from the previous year. After I picked my zone, I went into every single canyon, up every ridge, and I tried to glass from every angle to gather information. I committed to hunt this zone, that specific area, for the entire season. I found enough sign from the elk that I knew next September, most likely, they're gonna be back here. By the time the season opened, I learned the area better than most people know their backyards. I knew where the bulls would bed after they were feeding all night and where they would go to chase cows during the day. When I finally stepped into the wilderness on opening morning, I remember I found herds of elk with multiple bulls. A canyon of bugles and screams. I was ready to pick my trophy because I wasn't guessing anymore. I didn't need luck. I had a plan, I built a route, I knew where the elk would be, and I earned that knowledge with sweat, soreness, and summer days spent scouting in every spot that I hoped to be promising. If it was easy, then everyone would kill elk. I had to do what only 5% of people are willing to do. Go far, go deep, go where other hunters are never willing to go, and keep going when I felt like there was nothing there. And guess what? It paid off. Proper training, an achiever's mindset, wired for success. Never giving up. When others give up, you keep going. You show them that you are in the top 5% who are serious, committed, determined to get the results no matter what. Never blaming the weather, the moon phase, or hunting pressure. Don't make excuses. Instead, spend that energy scouting, planning and learning how elk think, how they act, and how they talk. Elk psychology, this is what I'm talking about. If you hike 100 miles in the areas you plan to hunt, but do it before the season starts, you will know what I'm talking about. You will gather enough information and you will be able to plan your hike and routes exactly where the elk are going to be. All scouting must be done before the season starts. On opening morning, you will be ready, weapon in hand, with the screaming bulls all around you, because you are in the right place at the right time. You did your job. You did what most elk hunters are never willing to do. It will get hard, blisters on your feet, cold rain, no bugles for 5 days, and after you hike 10 miles, you might not see a single elk. Most hunters will go back to camp and sit around drinking beer, waiting for better weather. But the bulls don't show up when it's easy. They show up after everyone else gives up. But you, the killer, you stay in the mountains. Just imagine, you packed your rain gear and you will pack the bulls out. When the rain starts, you can sit on a ridge because you know the elk will start moving when the rain has silenced the forest. They feel safe to get up for a bite or move from this patch of timber into the next canyon. You are ready with a bugle in your hand, moving quietly through the forest. You're able to play on the bull's curiosity. Oh, you trick that big boy so easily he runs straight to you, thinking you are just another bull in his territory. He wants to fight you, and you surprise him with a shattered shoulder and punctured lungs. He falls beneath your feet. A monster, a trophy, and you know it worked. Every second has paid off. You took days off scouting. You hiked miles before the season opened. You learned the areas and memorized the calling sequences. You know elk psychology, how they think, how they act, and how they talk. You're not on vacation. This is not camping. You're hunting. You have to move with a purpose and make decisions like a predator. Gonna check that cliff, push over that ridge, follow the fresh tracks, even if it means blowing your legs out that day after hiking 17 miles. The herd bull doesn't wait for you. He finds the deepest, nastiest, most remote terrain because it's where other hunters won't go. But not you. You're mentally and physically prepared. You're willing to push yourself to the limit and then 5 more miles. If you want to show your hunting buddies that you're more committed than them, I want to tell you about the Elk Spy app that we are developing. It's the only elk hunting app built for hunters by hunters. A social app with hunting tools. You can connect with hunters, inspire others with your virtual trophy rooms and pictures, and share the success and advice with the new generation. It's totally free. Just click on the link and join the waitlist to be notified when the app comes out. You can't control the elk or the weather. You can't control what other hunters do, but you can control you. Your mindset and discipline, the actions you take, will show your commitment. And all of that takes effort. Are you willing to outsmart the elk? What's your plan? Remember, every choice you make this summer will affect your hunt this fall. Prepare for success or prepare to fail. The killer already sees the bull in his freezing. He is already eating the backstrap. He believes before the season starts. But it's not just vain hope for luck. It's the mindset of a successful hunter. Committed, determined, focused. Because he did the work, he scouted and trained. He is in the top 5% of hunters, doing what the rest aren't willing to do. Putting in the miles, studying the terrain, learning all the elk habits and ins and outs of the unit he will hunt every single day until one bull steps out, one shot, one kill. Your belief must be backed by your preparation. A dream without an action plan is just a fantasy. Don't be the hunter who spends 11 months out of the year just dreaming. Be the killer who spends 11 months preparing and gets an elk every single season. Your name will be the elk spy. So stop just hunting and start killing. Let everyone else wait for the rut, for the moon to align with the stars. They can rely on luck, but you take action. You train and put a plan together. You're gonna execute. And this season, when the bull finally steps into your lane and you put that arrow behind his shoulder, you'll know you didn't get lucky, you got lethal. I want to welcome you to the top % of elk killers. We don't just dream, we get it done, no matter what. We show our families and our friends that we don't give up. A focused mind is the key to achieve any goal in your life. You want to kill that monster bull? Then be willing to go another 100 miles. To hunt 9 days straight in silence, to push past failure, pain, and loneliness. That's just what it takes. And if you're willing, you will succeed. Because others have done it before you and will do it after you. That's just what it takes. You can either get to work or you can stay sitting on your couch. But I want you to stop complaining and making excuses. So get to work, build your plan for success. You've got a tag, you've got 2 legs, you've got a brain that is asking for that feeling of accomplishment. You can either get it from playing video games or from doing something that you actually love, something that will build you up and make you stronger. This year, it's elk versus you, just like last season, but this year you know better. You trained harder, you scouted more and built a plan of action. You learned more about them elk. Now you're wired for success, so go show them who's the boss in the wilderness. Either you will laugh with tears of joy, or they will laugh at you, because you stayed the same. Don't play a mediocre game like most people. The actions you take today will reveal the truth. The results will show and tell. If you are still here, I want to tell you that I'm putting together an Elk Killers Masterclass. If you're tired of hunting year after year, only to be left empty-handed, then this will rewire you for success. It's not a theory course, this is the Transformation Masterclass. Real strategies from killers who scout smarter, hunt harder, and fill tags every single year. This is for those who are serious and ready to play the game with different rules. We teach elk psychology, how they think, how they act, and how they talk. You will learn how to pick zones that will hold herds of elk with many bulls. You will learn how to find and identify rutting and staging areas that will produce dozens of trophies, how to locate elk and call them in with simplified calling techniques and use their weakness of curiosity to your advantage. You don't have to challenge every bull because some of them don't even want to fight. We will teach you e-scouting with Onyx maps and boots on the ground scouting techniques. This course will equip and rewire your brain for success. You don't need to ask me for a guarantee because you'll get your proof this season. If you're ready for success, you should be ready to put in the work. You will walk away a different man, not just an elk hunter, but an elk killer. You will know elk psychology, how they think, act, and talk. But most importantly, you will become an achiever, a motivated go-getter, and nothing will stop you in life for success. The principles we teach will apply to your life of business, work, and hunting, because these principles actually work. Success is the way you think, and only you can create it. Click on the link if you want to check out the masterclass. This is your year. No more hoping and no more excuses. Do you smell that? I think I smell success. The whole town will know your name. You are not an elk hunter. You are an elk killer. You get bulls on the ground every single year. Subscribe to this channel for more motivation. Join the waitlist for the Elk Spy app. Take the Elk Killers Masterclass. Do it all or do none of it. But make your choice. and own it. Also, shoot me a picture of that elk if you get one this year.